Hey, good day everyone. My name is Sean Kritzinger, head coach at Thriver Mind, and I'm here with
Nozogo Mutuyane. I am a coach at Nozogo Coaching and Consulting, and the topic for today is dealing with the feelings of not being good enough, what other people would refer to as imposter syndrome.
Okay, so what has your experience been with not good enough, feeling not good enough?
There's doubt created by self. You have feelings of second guessing yourself. Even when you know something, you feel that no, but maybe I'm not pitching it correctly. You feel that no, but the audience, they're too senior, they know more than me, they are knowledgeable on the topic more than me, and you're constantly just in battle with yourself.
Not good enough, that feeling also stems from a core belief. And believe it or not, that's actually one of the beliefs that most people on planet Earth battle with.
Yeah.
There's no other belief, a negative belief, stronger and more common than not feeling good enough. And how it is formed, a lot of people ask, how is this belief formed? How's this feeling? How do I get this feeling? Because like you say, people are already in jobs or in specific positions, and you can even get really high up people that feel they're not good enough.
Yeah.
So it's not a position thing or a money thing only. People who have a lot of money, they don't feel good enough. No, it's not true. You can be in any position, you can have success, you can have whatever you want to have or think you want to have, and still feel or still have the belief that you are not good enough.
It is negative self-talk.
Yes.
And it is usually stuff that was said. Like, for an example, people growing up can make you self-aware of a specific thing about you. And you see it on the negative light, and you don't embrace yourself, be it a body, be it a capability. You think I could do it, but so and so has always been better. It is also the grading in schools.
Yes.
To say you were never an A student, you were always in the C class or in the H or in the G class.
Yes.
And then those who were in the A class, if that's how they were classified, were the ones who were known to be brilliant. It's a whole lot of things that come from our past that linger in our lives even when we have grown up.
Even teachers, how they address kids, how they treat kids, our parents, family members, our whatever people that we surround ourselves in, our cultures, in our groups where we move. A lot of people create the belief that I'm not good enough. Like you said, they sort of look at other kids or look at other people and say, I'm not as good as that other person. Mm-hmm. So they take that as sort of a proof that they're not good enough. I'm not good enough. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying something else, and they don't maybe get it right the first time, or want to be as good as they want to be the first try. And then they take that as sort of proof, I'm not good enough. So then that negative belief starts forming, and everything that they don't get right the first time, or they're not as good as another person, or whatever the case might be, they take it as social proof that I'm not good enough.
So if I have feelings of not being good enough, and I want to do something about it, and I've selected coaching as a solution to my problem, where do I go?
Well, you find a coach that can help you deal with I'm not good enough. Okay, so that is to change that core belief, not only the emotional connection. So what we do in coaching is we reprogram the mind, right? Especially in NLP type of coaching, we reprogram the mind. So we find that negative belief. We find the emotions that are attached to it, the feeling of not being good enough, and we break the emotional attachment and reprogram the mind that it stops believing that we're not good enough. The truth is if we go just a little bit back, can it be broken? Yes, it can. Do you believe it?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So are we good enough? That's the other question. So we must change a belief and a feeling from not being good enough and change it to, yes, I am good enough. And now the question is, the R1 million, the $1 million, the biggest question is, are you good enough? A person, yeah, you are as a coach, you are good enough. I'm good enough as a coach. But all the other people in the world, any person from from wherever they may come in life, is everyone good enough? Yes, they are. Why? Because we were created good enough. The biggest lie that we can believe is we're not good enough. We are created in the image of God, which means it is impossible to be more good enough than I was created. Yes, my actions and where I am in life, there's certain things that might influence my feeling. But as a human being, my mental capacity, my gifts, my talents, which every person has, every person on planet Earth has gifts and talents. And as coaches, we go from that standpoint that every person has value. Every person has a mind that they can use. We have all the resources we need to succeed, and every person has gifts and talents. And our job as coaches is to find that and to show that to you. And because of that, we can reprogram the mind to start believing that you are good enough. And how we do that, or part of the process, is we separate ability from knowledge and experience. And that's a major thing that people get wrong. They mix the two up. Can you build a house, Nazuka?
No.
You can. You just don't know how to, and you're not a builder. But are you physically capable of taking one brick and putting it on top of another brick? Okay, so you are capable. You can, but you don't know how to, and you have probably no interest in building a house. I can build a house, but I shouldn't. I can fix a car, but I shouldn't. It will never work again. Okay, so I have the ability to take tools in my hands and start loosening stuff. I've got that ability, but that thing will never ever work again. And that is, I'm not good enough. When people start mixing ability with knowledge and experience.
So I just had a feeling of not being good enough right now.
Okay.
When I said I can't build a house.
Yes. And that is our language.
Yeah.
When we say I can't, it's a lie.
Conditioning.
It means that you are not physically and mentally capable of doing stuff, and that will always make us feel I'm not good enough. When we say I can, I just don't know how to, or we can just leave the I can. We can say I don't know how to, which implies that I have if someone shows me, if I go for a course or I study something, I will be able to do it. But if I say I can't, it means it doesn't matter what you do, you'll never be able to do it.
It is all a mindset change.
Yes.
It is because it has been conditioned the way that it is unfolding now, and it has become a lot of people's reality. But it is a conscious decision through coaching to change that and start seeing a cup full for yourself.
Yes.
Instead of seeing a deficit each time and every time.
Yes, and that is how we were brought up. A lot of our upbringing, you can't do this and you can't do this, don't do this, don't do that. Instead of teaching our children, it's not the right time. In your age, it is not something that you are allowed to do right now. Let's go with law stuff. Okay, when you are 11-year-old, you're not allowed to drive a car on the road. Okay, you're not allowed to drink. Okay, so you're not allowed to, but you can. It is physical. I can pour any human being alcohol. So he can physically drink it, but he's not allowed to, and that's something different on your age.
Yes.
And we grow up with these limiting beliefs from our upbringing when we were small. And to change that, I'm not good enough. Firstly, if you want to do something without a session, coming to us and reprogramming the mind. Firstly, divide your capability from knowledge and experience. And then start changing your language. Stop saying that I can't, I'm useless, I'm stupid, I'm this, I'm that. Because that implies I'm not good enough. So you are empowering that negative belief.
It is similar to somebody in a meeting having said all the beautiful things and then dampens the whole thing by saying, can I ask a stupid question?
Yeah, exactly. Why do you want to say that?
Yeah.
And then you know a person has the belief that they're not good enough.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Can you mention something that maybe previous in your life, years ago, that you felt you weren't good enough and how you feel now?
So before I trained to be a coach, I always had a battle of embracing my body.
Okay.
And it brought me shame. I always felt that people who were slender or slimmer than me were capable of doing things that I cannot do, until I started learning about the feelings of of not being good enough, and what you say to yourself and what you feed your mind about you. And it will go back to the previous statement that I made. What you affirm is your truth.
Yes.
So if you affirm that this body I don't want, and that is exactly how the body is also going to be reacting to you, and that is that you're going to be dragging the body. Yes. But if you say, I love my body serves me, my body carries me, and my body is healthy, and all this, I am active, and all those type of affirmations, then you change the perception of what you talk about. You change, your body also changes and responds differently. Even to coaching, your body will respond.
Yes. And that's why we talk about intention before we start a session, before we do reprogramming. We talk about a person's intention. We talk about what you hold in your mind, because that is very important. Because if you don't believe that you can be good enough, you don't believe you can change, it's going to be very, very difficult to change, especially by yourself. And that's why we are here.
Yeah.
And that's our job, helping people, guiding them into that moment where we can make that change, and then applying our knowledge through whatever method we use, but to reprogram the mind. And again, as we spoke the last time, if you go into a session and you walk out the same, it didn't work, find a new coach.
Yeah.
Or find a new person to help you.
Yeah.
When you come in for reprogramming, let's take I'm not good enough. It needs to change right there. Yes. The reprogramming needs to take place, the emotional connection, the belief. And when you walk out, you will know and feel, listen,
something happened.
This is a different person. Yeah. Something happened and I feel good enough. If that doesn't happen, you need to find a new coach.
Definitely. And please do feel free to reach out to us. Our website will be shared on the video as well.
Yeah.
Because we are in the business of coaching, and we are here to make people reach their full potential.
Yeah, and to change lives.
Yes.
And I can really affirm, even in my own life, when I changed the belief that I wasn't good enough, it changed my whole reality. It changed my confidence.
Yeah.
It changed how I got up in the morning. It changed how I approached people, how I talked to people. It changed everything for me, and that's a major thing. Find a way, find one of us, find someone to help you to change the belief that you are not good enough. You do not have to keep living with that belief for the rest of your life.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next time on a different topic on our series. This is a series, Coffee with a Colleague.